Evening, welcome to the Rams Review live from Pride Park Stadium. Owen Bradley with Shaun Barker alongside, bringing you reaction to another Derby County victory. The Rams out of the Championship relegation zone tonight after a 2-0 win over Preston North End. A Derby rocked by losing Ryan Amby to injury inside the opening 3 minutes, but it was goalless at half-time, and after the break, Derby came out flying. Craig Forsyth giving them the lead 2 minutes after the interval, and Jerry Yates sniping home Derby's second just 4 minutes later. That was enough for the Rams to go above both Cardiff and Hull. Now Derby leapfrogging a couple of sides to move out of the Championship relegation zone. Lots of reaction to come from the Derby camp between now and the end of the show. We'll start with a few words from Shaun Barker, the Derby former captain, alongside us. Some were worried, Barks, that the international break might have disrupted Derby's momentum, but no sign of that tonight.
No, there wasn't. We did start the game slow. It was Preston's first chance after a couple of minutes after Ryan Namby's mistake, but Zetterstrom made the save. It took us a little bit of time to get going, probably 25 minutes or so, where Preston were the better side. They were landing on the ball, they were winning second balls, they were building through the pitch that little bit more confidently. But towards the end of the first half, we just started getting going, but the second half we started electric. 2 goals quickly. The game you felt was pretty much done when they got the second goal, and we've seen with John Eustace's sides, once they get that first and second goal, they seem to be able to manage the game superbly, and we never really gave Preston a sniff, and in the end we're thoroughly deserved of the 3 points.
More to come from Barks. Let's hear from the head coach. It's 4 wins in a row for John Eustace.
To go again after 2.5 weeks was a big game for us, and it was a real positive result.
Quite a start to the second half. What was the message at half-time? Because they came out flying.
Yeah, they did, and then I felt the first 15-20 minutes we looked a little bit nervous. You know, Preston had a lot of possession but didn't hurt us, so you know I wasn't too worried about that. I knew that when we won the ball back in that first half, we needed to be better with it in the final third, and I think the quality then in the second half came out, and obviously to start the way we did was great. The boys have been working very, very hard on the set pieces and the throw-ins, the free kicks, the corners, and sustaining attacks, and it was pleasing to keep the ball alive on the 2 goals, and you know, I thought we were clinical tonight.
Jerry Yates works his socks off for you, doesn't he? How pleased were you for him to get a goal to go with it tonight?
Yeah, absolutely delighted for him. You know, his work rate since I've been here has been sensational. He's an outstanding professional, and you know, he certainly deserved his goal tonight after all the effort he's put in of late.
And you're getting contributions from everyone all over the pitch now in terms of goals as well. Does that sum up what you've got here and what you're building here?
Listen, I think the most important thing is that we're very competitive, and the boys believe in what we're doing. You know, we go into each game with a game plan, and you know, even at half time the boys showed great focus and asking lots of questions, and you know, really believe in the game plans, and it doesn't matter who scores as long as we're creating and we're hard to play against. That's all I'm asking for at the moment.
You had to deal with losing Ryan Amber very early on as well. How is he, and how pleased were you with the reaction of the team to that?
Well, I'm devastated to lose Ryan. Obviously he's come off the hamstring. You know, he's a top pro, and he does everything correctly, so it's going to be a big blow. Hopefully it won't be for the rest of the season, but we'll have to wait and see. He'll get scanned tomorrow. But Kane coming on again, you know, he's a couple of weeks ahead of where he should be. He obviously came off against Plymouth, and we were expecting him to be out for 5 or 6 weeks, but you know, again, another player who's putting his body on the line to make sure that, you know, that Derby are sticking together and trying to win games.
John Eustace, the Derby head coach, after his side's 2-0 win over Preston North End at Pride Park Stadium this evening. Shaun Barker, he was certainly downplaying whatever might have been said at half-time, but you can't question the start Derby made to that second half, and the moments of quality were there, courtesy of Craig Forsyth and Jerry Yates, to get those 2 goals.
Yeah, they were, and I think the bit that I picked up from his interview there was sustained attacks, and he's absolutely right. For 10 minutes we were relentless. We were putting balls into the box. If Preston won that first phase, we landed on the second, and it always seemed to go back out to Elder to deliver again, and that was relentless pressure for 10-15 minutes of that second half. And all of a sudden, from long spells in the first where we didn't ask too much of the back line from Preston, we started to put balls in. The delivery was better because we were lacking it in the first half, especially when we got into wide positions. we tested them, we asked questions, we landed on the second balls, and we constantly put them on the back foot. So it was a brilliant start to the second half. Fozz's goal was a clever one because he understood where the pressure was. He knew where the players were in front of the goalkeeper, and he just reversed it. It wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but he has the understanding, the knowledge and the experience to know that as long as you get a strike towards goal and it's through bodies and it's the opposite way, the keeper might not see it. And it wasn't hit with real pace, but it was hit with accuracy in the far corner. It was a good finish. And a special mention has to go to Phillips as well, because he was involved in both. The second one was a great ball from Elder, head back across, and Yates just gets a knee, a shin, something ahead of the defender, and it found the back of the net, and it's one he deserves. It's
always great to see Craig Forsyth score. He looks like he enjoys it more than anyone else I've ever seen.
Well, he understands the position of the football club. He knows this football club better than any player. So naturally you have, you feel you have a responsibility of the club. He knows the importance of this game as well as others, but if you're not a natural goal scorer, I think it's the most he's had in a season with 3. They don't come that often. If they don't come that often, you don't know how to celebrate. And he looked a little bit surprised. He looked overjoyed. But again, pretty much a faultless performance from him as well. He's been remarkable this season. As he's got older, he seems to get more and more in control of how to defend, when to defend, what positions to be in, and he was brilliant once again.
I make the point to John Eustace, sometimes Jerry Yates, I think, doesn't get the rewards that his efforts deserve in terms of goals, and it was a poacher's finish tonight from him. It was
a clever movement to get away from the defender. If you put that much effort and energy into the game, you can often miss out on being in positions and being in those threatening positions and maybe having that extra yard of pace when the ball falls for you. But he's an unselfish player that works and puts his heart in his sleeves and does everything he can for the team. I mentioned one in commentary where with 10, no, it was in the 90th minute, he's pressing left back, he goes to the keeper, he presses him, and then all of a sudden the wing back was out and it was him that was recovering back into position. So I don't think those things go unnoticed by the crowd, the fans, ourselves, the manager, because he plays pretty much every game. What you do know is you have to give up some of the goals that he might score if he was more selfish. So it's nice to see him get a goal. You always kind of appreciate the work rate he gets, but a nice little poacher's goal, and for him it doesn't matter how they go in as long as it hit the back of the net. Obviously disappointed to lose Ryan Namby, and we wish him all the very best after he went off with that hamstring injury. I just wanted to mention Callum Elder, because 6-7 minutes in he went down, looked like he might have hyperextended the knee. I think there were a few moments where everybody expected him to be forced off as well. He stays on, and he was brilliant, particularly in that early part of the second half when Derby got their goals. Yeah, he was, and the reason for me he was player of the match was he was involved obviously with both goals. The first 10 minutes of the second half, it always seemed to get recycled back to him, and he was always looking to get forward. I thought he defended well against probably the best player for Preston down that right-hand side. He stuck to his guns, he drove forward the ball well. He lacked a couple of times in the first half of that little bit of quality because he got in good positions, but the second half, the quality of the balls into the box were much, much better. And along with Phillips, Clark, I thought Armstrong was outstanding once again in the heart of midfield. At 18 years old, to be that, putting up that sort of professional experience performance was remarkable. So all in all, brilliant performance. It was a worrying one for Elder, especially when you watch the replays back, but we've got our fingers crossed he gets through the game and he's fine moving forward. So a win for Derby and another clean sheet as well for Widell-Zetterstrom. Here's the Derby goalkeeper.
Very much so. Amazing night, and it's always nice to I mean, we worked so hard for these past few weeks and starting to see the result now, and yeah, great night, but it's been a few great weeks as well.
And a great start to the second half, both goals coming in 6 minutes after the break. What was said in that dressing room at half time?
I don't know, really just stick to the plan. We all know how good we are, and if we just go out there and do what we've done all week and all that, we were certain that we were going to score a goal and keep a clean sheet. So yeah, not really much said in there, but just stick to the plan, stay calm, and do what we do. You had the 3 wins before the international break. How did you make sure that you carried the momentum through and started off after the break with a victory? just taking these 2 weeks and really working on the bits that you may not be able to, that you perhaps can't work on in a very tight schedule. So yeah, it was heavy training these past few weeks, and yeah, getting ready for the upcoming 8, now 7 games.
Wasn't the busiest night for you in terms of shot stopping? I guess you like it that way. Tell me about the job that the players in front of you did tonight.
I mean, like always, the amount of effort they put in is just tremendous, and I mean, the amount of sacrifices they make just to make sure that ball does not come down to me is outstanding, and I love having them, whoever they are, in front of me, and yeah, they make it fairly easy to me.
And we saw your now customary celebration in front of the home fans in the South Stand at the end. Tell me about the connection that you've developed with these supporters already.
I mean, you come here once a week, and they turn up in such a huge number every single time, no matter what, no matter when, and yeah, it's just amazing to play in front of these fans. And it's not only here, but I mean, just the whole community, just meeting people, supermarket and whatnot. These sort of things make your day, and all of this combined just makes it so wonderful to play here.
All smiles for Widell-Zetterstrom. Championship table then, no change at the top, with tonight's game involving 2 teams at the bottom. Sheffield United leading the way from Leeds and then Burnley, but it's only goal difference separating the sides in 2nd and 3rd now. Preston's chances of a playoff play surely over after defeat to Derby tonight. The big headline is that the Rams have moved out of the Championship relegation zone at the expense of Cardiff, who drop into the bottom 3. The Rams also go above Hull on goals scored, level on points, level on goal difference. The Rams still have to visit Hull between now and the end of the season, but Derby just a point behind Stoke and Oxford United now as well. And suddenly just 4 behind Swansea, who are their opponents in South Wales on Saturday. What an incredible few weeks it's been under John Eustace. 4 wins in a row for the Rams after their victory tonight. If you want more reaction to tonight's game, it'll be on the website for you, dcfc.co.uk. Rams TV will return at the weekend for the trip to Swansea. Join us for that if you can. But for now, from me, Barks, and the team, goodbye.